Thank you, Christian. Welcome to the No Sugar Coat post-game live show, because I am not coating anything. Demps, we talked about it pregame. This was a very winnable game. Portland came in without their top three centers. They came in without Jeremy Grant. They came in without their leading scorer, Anthony Simons. This win was there for the taking, and the Nuggets didn't show up.
No, they did not. It was a quick moment at the beginning of the first quarter that they had like a 15-6 lead, a 19-9 lead, and then it was like a 10-0 run. And Portland kind of took it from there in terms of the energy and effort, and that's just really what this Portland win was built on. They were diving on the floor. They were getting to the loose balls. They were getting deflections and steals and runouts. They were getting onto the offensive glass. And then when you have a team doing that consistently and you are not, this result is going to happen far more than it won't.
In the NBA, because everybody's talented in the NBA, hustle beats talent.
Matters. Yeah.
Hustle beats talent, and hustle won that game tonight. Nuggets fall. Their second Nuggets post-game live, Vic Lombardi and Chris Dempsey. Let's start here, because I think the misnomer, the perception is, if Nikola Jokic has any weaknesses, it's on the defensive end. Well, he didn't play tonight, and the Nuggets defense was about as bad as it can get. It's deeper than that. It's a fundamental defensive issue for this team. Where does it start?
Well, look, I think in the half court, it starts with at the point of attack in terms of containing dribble penetration, which they were not very good at here today. I mean, there are a lot of guys just driving straight line drive straight to the basket, and then fouling once they got to the basket. A number of and ones in this basketball game as well. So if you can't contain at the point of attack, if you're not communicating or switching through screens, if you're not doing those things that kind of keep you solid on the perimeter, that's problem number one. Problem number two is your own turnovers, because what you're doing is you're allowing runouts, you're allowing easy baskets, you're allowing high percentage baskets, because almost all of these turnovers for the Nuggets are live ball turnovers, 25 points off of their live ball turnovers today. And when you're able to get 64 points in the paint, which is what the Portland showed, that's exactly half of their points were in the paint here tonight. That's where you start with this defense.
Well, if you're not going to defend, maybe hustle, and they got out-hustled tonight. Let's take a look at some of the hustle stats from this game, and this tells the story. Here's the tail of the tape. They got out-rebounded. Yeah. Offensive rebounds, my goodness, there were so many to count. Out-rebounded in every category. Steals, they have 12 of them. Portland took 12 from the Nuggets. 6 block shots, and the turnovers that led to easy buckets. This is all second chance point material, and that's how Portland won this game.
Yeah, and extra possessions, right? So not only are you giving away possessions, but because you're giving away easy baskets, they also finished with a higher shooting percentage that you did. 54% from the field. They took 11 more shots than you. You're going to get blown out in that scenario each and every single time. And it just looked like at times there were 10 Portland Trailblazers out there on the court, and only 5 Nuggets players on the court, and that's just because they were everywhere. I mean, Portland players all over the rim, all over the floor. They, on their defensive end, they were communicating just fine, staying in front of their player, taking charges, doing all those things. And you know what? That was the Nuggets in Golden State. If we're just being plain and serious, that was the Nuggets in Golden State. They played that way for one game in this road trip so far. And look, you thought this was tough. Wait till you get a load of Houston 2 days from now. If you're playing like this, then probably another 20-point loss is on the horizon.
Last year, I didn't know how to pronounce this man's name. This year, everybody knows his name. Deni Avdija. What he's done to the Nuggets this season, what he's done to every opponent over the last couple of weeks. 36 points tonight, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. He only missed 4 shots. He was 12 of 16 from the field, Chris Dempsey.
Yeah, and for him, this is back-to-back 30-point games. He had one just the other night against the Memphis Grizzlies as well. You know, he is blossoming into what I think is their best player. I mean, with all due respect to Anthony Simons, I know he is the leading scorer on that team, but this player right here, through physicality, his ability to get to the free throw line, he just plays with edge and plays with spark, and then is a 3-level scorer on top of all that. He looks like the kind of player that you can can stamp in as a core piece that you build around for the future. And for him, you know, this has been a great evolution over the course of this very season. As a scorer, as an offensive real force in Portland, really benefited tonight.
All right, up next,
Talked about before the game, points off your turnovers, second chance points, and they only made 14 threes, but everything you talked about, they were able to do tonight.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. That was just a joke. Who are we kidding? 11 games to go, and that's the effort we put forth. You know, I'm embarrassed by that game and our approach and how we played. 26 points on the offensive glass. Rebounding is effort, rebounding is toughness, rebounding is desire, and they just kicked our butts on the offensive glass. And then we give up 25 points off our turnovers. So we get 51 points. 51 points off of rebounds and turnovers. We had 18 blow-bys. All they ran tonight was pick and roll. Let me get the matchup that I want. I'm going to go one-on-one. And they beat us every time. And the few times they did miss, they got every offensive rebound. So I don't know what our guys are thinking with 11 to go. And I challenge them to look at the standings, look at our remaining schedule, and if we continue to play the way we're playing, we will be in the play-in tournament. Very simple. It's just the way it is. And I think each guy's got to look themselves in the mirror and start coming to each respective game with the proper mindset and have some pride. I didn't think we played with any pride tonight.
I feel like they took that.
I really care. It's not my job to evaluate how they take things. My job is to be honest, and sometimes brutally honest. And tonight, it was a brutally honest message. And the guys that are full of shit won't hear it. You know, they'll say coach is tripping. And the guys that maybe do really care will, because they're not going to go back and watch their minutes, because nobody watches their minutes. Nobody watches film. So we'll have to show them the film. And I said, if somebody disagrees with me, please speak up. And nobody said a word. So again, I'm not really concerned with how they took that message. My thing is being honest with how we just played. Just got blown out in LA. Come here against a team that is down 3, 4, 5 starters, and you mess around with the game. That's what happens, and that's exactly what happened tonight. And the same thing that's been bothering us of late that I talked about pregame, the turnovers, the rebounding, was even worse tonight. And I didn't think it could get any worse, but it did. Thank you, everybody.
Tell me he's wrong.
I'm not here to tell you he's wrong. That was about as mad as I've ever seen him, to be honest with you.
You know, my favorite part about that, Chris, is that, you know, he was asked how will the players take it.
I don't care.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, it's professional basketball.
Yeah.
You're going to get criticized. You played like crap tonight.
Yeah.
You didn't hustle. If you're a player and you object to getting criticized by your coach, what are we doing?
Yeah. You know, it's interesting is he's one of the first people to praise you when you're playing hard. As a matter of fact, he talked about being blown out in LA, but the group that finished the game in LA played really hard and played really well, and he had nothing but good things to say